Arms are a major part of roller skating and they might be holding you back. So if you're having trouble, stop and think about your arms. So if I'm going to do an open book turn, I'm going to turn here. But if I keep the shoulder back, it's just really awkward. So I'm here and then it's there. And it's not a natural movement. So I'm going to do the same thing and this time I'm going to bring this shoulder around. Do you see how much more fluid that was? Because when I take this shoulder round, it also takes the hip, the knee, and my foot. So sometimes focusing on the feet, we forget that it's all connected, and it's really, really important to remember that connection when you're skating. The general rule with arms is that they're there to help you. So if I'm going around in a circle, I want my arms in that circle helping me. And if I'm going to rotate, my shoulders are going to come with me. So when I turn forward, I'm not going to leave this shoulder behind. So here, and I'm turning forward, I'm not going to leave. It has to come round, and that makes such a difference. Come round, back into that circle. And it all makes such a difference when you've got control of your shoulders, because the feet, they kind of happen. Flexibility can be another big issue for skaters, but to be honest, we can kind of avoid it. So the position that most people have trouble with is this incredibly unnatural position, unless you're a ballet dancer, of course. So we can avoid this position. So a lot of people find the open book turn causes them a lot of trouble. But there are so many options. I've got 2 whole videos on different ways to transition. Say for example, you can do a stagger, weight on both toes, and turn. That's a really, really nice one. When it comes to equipment, people say a bad workman blames their tools. However, when it comes to roller skates, you kind of can blame your skates. So I totally get that a new skater isn't going to go out and spend £1,000 on a pair of skates. So lots of beginner skates are absolutely fine, but there's always a few things that you need to check. So first of all, are your wheels rolling? If they're not, loosen them off a little bit, but only to the point where they don't move up and down. So if I loosen this off, you'll hear that is too loose. You don't want to hear that up and down movement. So tighten it back up again. Well, see, now it's too tight because it's not rolling. So loosen it off a little bit to the point where I get a nice free roll. And the same goes for your cushions and your trucks. You need to adjust these so you've got some movement in your skate, because that is your steering. And if you've bought Beach Bunnies, they're known for having a really hard cushion. A change of cushions, something a little bit softer, could make all the difference in your skating. And say for instance you normally skate outside and all of a sudden you go into the rink and you're like, oh, I can't turn anymore. It's like, my wheels are sticking. You might benefit from a harder wheel. So there are lots of small changes you can make to your equipment that will make a huge difference to your skating. It's really common to get stuck when you're learning a new move, because you may look at it and go, there's just so much going on, I've no idea where to start. When I teach, I try and find the simplest version of it. So say for instance, I'm going to learn the hez. For me, the most comfortable place is here. So really do it slowly and feel the mechanics of the move. And once you're comfortable, then you can add the heel manual. But really concentrate on the weight transfer and what's happening. And then you can start to speed it up when you get more comfortable. Once you're really comfortable, you can add the curtsy. But once you add in something new, slow it right back down again. So this is all about finding a comfortable starting place with the move and then adding in each extra element until the whole thing is together. And it just makes it so much easier like that. Another thing that happens when you get stuck is you get really despondent because you're scrolling through Instagram and looking at all these people that make it look so easy, and then you go and try it yourself and you're like, well, that's actually really hard. So try not to compare yourselves to people that have been skating for years. Set yourself some goals, like I want to be able to do toe manuals by the end of next month or something like that, and then work towards that. And what I find really helps me when I'm learning something new is when I'm practicing in my conservatory, I have a window and I can look at my reflection and be like, actually my shoulder's a bit out, my hips, and checking and making small adjustments to your posture can make such a huge difference to your skating. So enjoy the journey and please don't compare yourself to people that have been skating forever. Just have lots of fun. finally, another barrier to progression can be the fear of falling, because you just can't commit because you're so scared that you're just going to hit the floor. I have an entire video on that which will hopefully help you get over that fear. I'm Katie, you've been watching Skatie, and I'll see you next time. Bye!